I'm so sorry about the things I said. Please forgive me. All those names I called you, I apologize. I just got caught up in my feelings. I thought we was good. I thought we was moving. I thought we was growing and building, and all of a sudden you wasn't there for me no more. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I love you. And let's continue moving forward. Who owes Deion Sanders an apology? Who? We're going to talk about it today. I'm yours truly, Diva Reed with the UNA University and UNA Republic. Let's do it. Welcome, everybody. Yes. UNA. Yeah. Let's do it. Welcome, everybody. Yours truly, Diva Reed. In the house for the UNA Republic and UNA University. Yeah. Yes. I would dance today, but I don't feel like dancing right now. Y'all come on in. Bring it on in. Break it on down. Oh, the music getting to me. Yeah. The Hair Don't Move Challenge. We're doing this thing today talking about who owes Deion an apology. All right, so now let me get into this thing because, we normally don't go into subjects like this. I really don't. And to be honest with you, I had been wanting to use Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders, as an example of universal laws. And we're going to go into some universal laws today. Going to go into some legal stuff today as well concerning Deion Sanders. Now, y'all need to understand we deal with law. Okay, that's what we do here. We deal with law. All of the laws from universal laws on down to contract law to federal codes. Okay, that's what we stop, because everything underneath that does not matter, because we are sovereigns. All right. So now let's understand something. I want to go into this because I have been wanting to use Deion in our private sessions, and thank you for the soccer balls and the gloves and all of that. Thank y'all so much. Who is that? Rick James. What's going on, Rick James? I hope you're feeling better today. I love you. So now, one of the things is that I have been wanting to use everything that he's been going through because I've been following his sessions. And if you want to come on with me, Rick James, later on, stay tuned because I would love to talk to you. But I've been following him in what he's been going through with his team. And, there's this series called Coach Prime, and I've been watching that and just following him on his journey. And he is a walking billboard for universal laws. And so we're going to get into that today, what some of the things are that he's been doing with respect to universal laws, as well as the legal side of this whole thing. So I want to just first of all start off by saying to Coach Prime, and I know he's gotten a lot of this, not that I hated on him. I didn't hate on him, but I made a comment. And the comment was that he sold out. And I want to say that to some degree, I still see that. However, one of the things that we didn't know is what was going on behind the scenes. Now, it was indicative that this kind of stuff was some of the things, and I'm not even going to speak on them, but some of the things that have been reported about what's been going on behind the scenes. It was indicative when I spoke about this last week, the comment made by the president of the school that said he hoped that Deion failed, which is just that whole comment alone tells me of the mindset and the lack of business attitude coming from the people who he's dealing with. So then to find out some of these other things that were going on behind the scene. And then the question, I've had somebody ask, would you would have sold out? Let me tell you something. I would have walked away. You wouldn't have even had to pay me. I would have walked away if the things that are being said were actually going on. I want to say thank you. Rick James, still, I'm glad you're feeling good now. So one of the things is that with that being said, I just want to go on about, I know that even though he hasn't said it, some of those things were disappointing to him, as was the fact that he left. And I want to go in on that. So now let's talk about this term that we keep hearing thrown around, the term sellout, or he sold out. And we're dealing with the fact that, and as I said before, the people have a lot of value. All right. And a lot of times also our assets have a lot of value. And because we keep selling them out, we don't have anything to hold on to. And let me say this to you. It's not just melanated people. It's people, Albions, Mexicans. All of us end up selling out our assets because, to be honest with you, 90% of the resources on this planet are in 10% of the people's hand. 10% of the people have control over 90% of the assets. And so the thing is, it's not just a melanated thing. It's not just a Mexican thing. It's everybody. Albions have sold out too. Now they get more access to the assets. But the thing is, when we learn to hold on to our assets instead of selling them out, then yes, and I still stand on that. However, when there's a situation where there's abuse going on or disrespect or mismanagement, we have to walk away. Now, I want to speak on, again, let me say this just real quick, because, it's this whole we think he sold out because of this, or we think he left because of this, but there are so many issues. One of them was the water issue, the crime issue, the having to jump through hoops just to get things done, things not getting done, the lack of opportunity in bowl games, the lack of business when he's putting up business plans or things to be done, people just saying no, the amendments, the facilities, the amenities rather, and the facilities, and his son not being able to be in the Heisman conversation simply because they're at an HBCU. He wants that for his son. Understood. There's so many reasons why he could have accepted the funds and walked away. However, there are new allegations coming up that things weren't done, and so I say, if it were me, it's asking, would you have sold out? I would have walked away. You wouldn't even have to pay me. I wouldn't have been there because, again, it sounds like there was an abusive relationship, but we could kind of see that, again, from the comments made by the president. Now, one of the things that I would like to say is that this is something that I wish that Deion would have done. And that is to speak to the people. Now, I'm not saying that Deion owes anybody anything, all right? But I need to make this clear. And I hope y'all paying attention to me, because I'm going to go into some universal laws. Because I don't, by the way, let me put this up. Because, one second. Let me put this up because, one second. I'm saying that Deion Sanders owed anybody anything. However, you got to understand he has a serious voice, a powerful voice, and I need it to be made clear that this thing now is no longer just about football, because his reach went so far beyond that. It's not just, these football students, they loved him and no, he reached out to the community. And he's sold. He doesn't like to say, I didn't sell nothing. No, yes, you did. All right. You sold the people a dream. You had them believing. And I'm going to go and see if I can play this real quick. Thank y'all for the gifts and the love. I appreciate you. I'm going to play this real quick. And let's see if you can hear this, because I'm not going to put it on. But I'm going to play this so you can kind of get a feel of it. And the way he speaks, he moved people.
Thing that's going on, I think it's the time is right, the time is evident, and the time is the level of the playing field. When you talk about those basketball guys,
you heard that? I think it's time, the time is right to level the playing field. And the thing is, people bought into that, okay, he's going to be here with us. And then all of a sudden, he's not here with us. Now, I could hear this in the fans' voice, even when the whole idea came up about Colorado asking him to come. People were mad. They were like, he can't leave. They need to leave our coach alone. That's our coach. He ain't going nowhere. We all agree that he needs to stay. Well, honestly, I didn't expect him to leave. I knew he would. I didn't expect him to leave that soon, though. So with that being said, this whole idea that, the people didn't support the college, I didn't see that. Because when Coach Prime asked for people to come to the game, when those games weren't sold out, and he said, hey, we need you to fill this stadium up, he got them there. They responded. So I'm saying to you that people will respond, and they did respond. When he asked, when you raise your voice and you ask them to come, that's how I had a television show for 4 years. We were on major networks. We did ESPN. We did some of the other major networks. And I'm saying to you that it was the community. It was the people. It was because of them that I was able to have that show. And that's why I gave back every week. We go into somebody's little league game or whatever, and we're doing that for free. So I'm saying to you that the people will give. And when they give, then you give back and they keep giving. That's how my show stayed on the air for so long. So when we're talking about did the people support? Yeah, they supported. But let me say this to you. People often think when you're talking about support, you're talking about money. And I need y'all to understand that we are the currency. Me, you, we are the currency. How is that? You see, when you go to Facebook, they say, well, what's on your mind? All right, what's on your mind? That's because every time you type something in, they're going to monetize that. Monetize. That's why we talk about this in the university, about how valuable you are just as a currency. All right, your power. So, okay, in understanding that, when you go to YouTubers, y'all hear the YouTubers say, okay, if you want to support me, all I need you to do is watch the ads. And when the ad, if the ad is longer than 30 seconds, click on the ad. Why? Because just by you paying attention, they get paid. You're being monetized. So now we've got Coach Prime, and he's got the Coach Prime series that's going on, and people are watching those things like crazy. People were clicking on them like crazy. That's money. That's payment. They paid attention. So what I would have loved to see, because he has the voice to do this, is to say to the people, make an address to the people, his fans. Because it's not just the football team. When he came in with his speech, it was, the football team. But then it was all the students at Jackson State. And then it was all of the people in Mississippi. And then it was all of the people in the SWAC. And then it's all of the melanated people, not just in North America. I need y'all to understand something. Around this planet, they can see him. They can get those YouTube videos. And understand this, I lived in South America, and those people, especially in Brazil, they got a large group of melanated people. And they told me, they was like, yeah, we watching y'all. What's going on in your community? Because we down here, we're trying to get as good as you guys up there in North America. Yeah, they're watching. Everybody's watching across this planet. They look to melanated people in North America to get their act together, and then they're going to straighten up. So what I'm saying about that is his reach was way greater than football. This is not just about football anymore. He even says it when he talks about, listen, I'm not just bringing you in here so you can be a great player. I'm bringing you in here so you can be a great person in life. So you can be a great person, period. And so I'm saying, again, Deion doesn't owe anybody anything. But out of righteousness, out of what he claims to be a man of God, when he speaks to the people, because his voice right now is huge. I mean, he can command attention when he speaks. I mean, here he is speaking to the people. I need y'all to stop with all this violence. And they responded. They were responding to him. That's what the reports I'm getting are showing. He's speaking to the people, telling them, come to the stadium. And they respond. We need to sell this place out. They responded. He's talking to the mayor and the governor. We need y'all to get this water situation fixed. I don't know if they met up and responded to that, but the people heard him. And so with having a voice like that, I would love to see him, and he did finally show some appreciation to the businesses in Jackson State. But you got to understand, when people were angry, if they didn't love him so much, it wouldn't be no anger. If he wasn't a winner and they understood the commodity that he was, they wouldn't care. But and I would say that to some degree, the staff there likely didn't show him the appreciation that he's getting now from where he is. And so again, I say to you, even if Coach Prime was to just come out and say to the people, listen, I appreciate your support. And we're continuing to build. I had to shift plans a little bit, but stick with me because this thing is getting good. Just that. Don't say nothing about what happened in the back, because I understand that he's being kind enough to not put out there all of the business that went on in the background. We don't need to hear all that. You don't even need to apologize. Just address the people. Appreciate your support. You had to make a little shift, but this thing's going to get good. That would make the people feel better. Think about it as if, if you were a child in the house and the dad left and didn't say anything. Child fell in love with the dad, but the dad's moved on. Well, say something so that the kids who are left behind, because they're hurting. That's all. It was a little bit hurt feelings. Say something. That's all. And he did address the businesses, but again, and again, here it is, he's left, and the businesses, they're going to miss him. The HBCU is going to miss him. And so what I'm saying is, yes, and that, just like everybody else a lot of the other people are saying, yeah, we just got to take this ball and keep it moving. And that's true. So I want to say this because I want to go in on universal laws, because I would have loved, because I was looking at this whole situation as a case study with respect to universal laws. And I want to get on this because I spoke a couple of weeks ago about how it's important that we understand these universal laws. And I'm going to put them up here behind me, because Deion Sanders is a walking billboard for universal law. And the one that I want to go into today is this one right here. Law of compensation. Law of compensation. Now, a couple weeks ago, I told you guys about how when we're dealing with this law of compensation, we're also dealing with natural law, meaning when you plant a seed, you're going to get many in return. And natural law or nature is only mimicking what the universal laws have already set up. So When you plant $1, we talked about this, the universe is going to return it to you many times over. And I gave you a number, a lowball number, a conservative number of 10. And you all have experienced it. Everybody who's listening to me likely has experienced it. Mr. Get Around, I agree with you. I think he did the right thing. As I said, if I had been in that situation, you wouldn't have had to pay me to leave. But if you put out one seed, all right, you would get 10 on a lowball number back. $1, you're going to get 10 back. It doesn't matter if it's a seed. It could be a bottle of water you put out. It could be whatever. You could pay for somebody's hotel room, for example, and get a whole bunch back. When you put out one, you're going to get many in return. And the lowball number, the conservative number I'm using is 10. All right. And why am I talking about this in this case? I want y'all to pay attention because I talked to you all about how these laws are used around you all of the time. And because we don't recognize that they are laws, then they get used against us. They get used against us. So pay attention now. So when you put out $1, and you have experienced it when you were at the gas station or you were down at the corner and somebody needed some money when you were coming off the expressway and you gave them a couple of dollars, and the next thing you know, you gave them 2 and you got 20 back over here. Okay, when you put out with love and positive intent, this is by law, the universe is going to return it to you many times over. Why do I say Deion Sanders is a walking billboard of that? How much was it said that he invested in that building at JSU? How much was it? Now, I got a figure everywhere from 150 to 300,000. Now, multiply that times 10. Let's just say it was 300,000, because adding up all of the food that he bought for the students, adding up all of the payments that he made, supposedly, according to some of the reports, to get them 2 different bowl games. Add that up. All right. And let's just say it's $300,000. Multiply that times 10 and what you get. Does anybody get 3 million? Because that's what I get. Now, again, I said 10 is a lowball number. Depending on the positivity and the intent that you put behind whatever you give, well, the universe is going to multiply it that much greater. And so some of y'all are not aware of this, but this is what these larger companies do. Your Xerox and your McDonald's and your Coca-Cola, they're going to set aside a certain percent, and normally it's like 10% of their fiscal budget, and then give it away in altruistic givings at the end of the year or the beginning of the next year. Okay, now remember, universe doesn't care who you are. These are laws. And if you do these things, then by law, the universe must give back to you. All right. So when you have a situation where you're giving from your heart, like what Deion did, he's like, listen, here you go. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to take care of it. He might not have been thinking about, getting it back in that way. But look at his facility now. Look at the funds that came back off of that 300,000 that he put out. That's way more than 10 times. And I'm saying to you, everybody has the ability to do that. It's all about your intent and the energy. Notice how he's constantly talking about, my God. And, his intent is always on a higher vibratory frequency. And when you have those kind of energies, you can tap into this law of compensation. If you don't have these laws, you can check the bio. There's a link tree there. You can scroll down and check our site and get these laws. All right. This is very important. Now, so I hope y'all are getting this. This is why I say he's a walking billboard for universal laws, because he puts them down with his energies. We talk about speaking and where he's attracting to him certain things because of the words that he's saying. And I say he's a case study because when I go back to those videos, especially the Prime videos, and we see how he's speaking, and then you see at the beginning of the series, he's saying, yeah, we want to do this. And next thing you know, at the end of the series, it's come about. Or in the next series, it's come about. That's these laws. When you're speaking things, when you're doing certain things, when you're activating and tapping into these laws, all kind of things can come up for you. All right. I want to go into another law as I look at how the people responded to Deion. There's a law of oneness up here. All right. We are all one. All right. And the reason why I say it would be good for Deion to address the people is for the simple fact that he has felt the way they're feeling. They are his reflection. The people reflect Deion. Everybody reflects you. All right. And so we want to keep that in mind when we're coming up to people and they're giving us certain energies or feelings or what have you, making us feel a certain way. Yeah, that's because we have put that energy out somewhere and they are reflecting us. We got to remember that. And this is why we talk about this in the UNA University. And I invite everybody. We're going to be starting up in January for the UNA University. It was something else I wanted to speak on too about the whole way this whole thing went down with respect to the universal laws. But the bottom line is, remember, everybody is only a reflection of who you are. Now, I want to go into this, all right? I want to go on the legal side. So now I'm going to put up and I'm going to go on this, and then I'm going to hit this and get out of here. But I want to go on the legal side now, because again, I go back to where it said, Deion don't owe nobody nothing or whatever. He didn't make no contract with them. But I need to tell you guys about the importance of what the words that you speak. All right, the importance of the words that you speak. Every time you speak, you are creating a law. You're creating a contract. All right. Now, when he says, we're going to level the playing fields, he created a contract. Contract is offer plus acceptance equals a contract. He didn't write it down. He didn't put it. A verbal contract is just as binding. So he made a contract with the people and they took him on it. Now, all I'm saying to you is, remember, when you open your mouth, you are speaking a contract. And what happens is when people have accept your offer, then they have expectations over here. That's what a contract is. Expectations. A contract. Expectations become a contract. And so now people are upset because they feel that he broke a contract. Well, he left us. He left us behind. Okay. So I'm saying, whether they were right or wrong, they were in their feelings. And a lot of the things, negative things that were said, they should never have been said, but they were. Well, what I'm saying is it would be great if he would just address the people. Yeah, he did the right thing for him. Nobody's denying that. Nobody can deny that he did great things for Jackson State, HBCU, the melanated community, bringing hope, bringing love. Nobody can deny that. So when he spoke about leaving Atlanta, and when he left Atlanta, he was young. I was there in Atlanta, and I saw him as he came through, and we loved him. And when he left, a lot of people were angry. Kind of like, it wasn't as bad as what he's getting now, but a lot of people were angry when he left. And again, I'm telling you that what people are giving him is what somebody else in his life has felt. He's made somebody else feel that. So when he left Atlanta, a lot of people were angry. and burning his jersey and all this other stuff. And so, but what he never did come out and say what happened until recently. This is the first time I heard him speak about what happened in Atlanta. He said, I was hurt. I loved Atlanta. And they never offered me an extension on the contract. They never even offered. And I was hurt. I didn't understand why they did that. I remember when he left, I was happy because I knew that Atlanta was not an environment for winning. For whatever reason, they just had not developed that environment for winning. And Deion was a winner. When he was in Atlanta, we wanted to see him. We didn't care what he did. It was like, Deion, throw the ball. Deion, catch the ball. Deion, go on defense. He actually, I saw him throw a couple of passes with the Falcons. Anytime he touched the ball, touched the field, he brought excitement. And so we just wanted him to do everything. But at the same time, they couldn't win with him. So when he left, I knew that he was about to go to another level. I was excited for him. All right. So now he comes on and he starts talking about this. And this kind of is alluding to what happened in Jackson, where he didn't say it, but they never offered, is what he was saying. He was making a parallel. Like, I'm here in Atlanta. I left Atlanta. I loved Atlanta. They never offered. Same thing over here with JSU. They never offered. And so I get that. Now, with that being said and understood, again, address the people. Because you leave in the house, we don't know what's going on. And he's not speaking on it, which is good. You know, that's good. Because he doesn't need to put all of that dirt out in the public. Deal with that behind the scenes. But just, hey, I had to make a change. I love you. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. It's going to get better. All right. Lastly, and then I'm going to get out of here. Gratitude. When we're dealing with these laws or with universal laws or spiritual energy, gratitude. And so that's one of the things that when we're in our feelings and in our emotions, we forget to show gratitude. And as much as I'm saying I would love for Deion to address the people need to address him. People of Jackson, the fans, we need to say, thank you, Deion, for everything you did. Thank you for the love that you showed the students. Thank you for the hope that you brought back to the community. Thank you for your voice. All right? Because when we show gratitude, the universe has got to show gratitude to us. That's what we're getting to, where we're learning to affect these universal laws. Understand contracting. Understand how to use our voice to bring about the change that we desire, all right? And so I'm really, just wanted to say I really do appreciate Deion. I thank him and love him for everything that he did. Deion says, Mr. Get Around said, Deion is from God as well as myself. Yes, sir. I ain't all white people either. I ain't for all white people either. Well, I'm going to tell you this. As I said to you, though the people at Buffalo, because people were having this thought that, they is not going to be the same. They're not going to love him like we love him. That's just not the case. And as I said, I've dealt with melanated people and non-melanated people. And I call so-called the light-skinned people, I call them Albions. But they treated me like a god. When I was in South America and I was touring as an entertainer there and doing shows all over the place, like a god, and would call me such. They showed me a lot of love, and I wished my people would have shown me the kind of love they showed me. He's having a good time. They're treating him like a god. Every time JSU played home, they sold out their stadium. Yes, Mr. Get Around. We live in the Republic here in America. Yes, we do. Yes, we live in the Republic. Deion did the right thing because our race always trying to get over on it. So let me say something to you, Mr. Get Around. We're gonna change our words towards our people. All right. And recognize that our people are who we say they are. Because my people, I don't know who your people are, but my people are stand-up people. When I do business with them, we don't have to have no back and forth. It's in the contract. They're going to uphold their end of the bargain, and I'm going to uphold mine. If there's a problem, we're going to have a communication about it and settle it. That's how me and my people work. Me and my people, when I ask for their support, they're going to give me support. And when they ask for mine, I'm giving it to them. When we go out, me and my people, we don't be arguing about how much, you had the bread, and you had the salad. Who cares? We arguing about who going to pay the check. That's my people. So now, if your people doing all this that you're saying, you want to get you some new people or change what you're saying about them. Because when you change what you're saying about your people are going to start acting differently. When your words out of your mouth for your people change, your people are going to start acting differently. Because my people, some upstanding, lovely people. I love to hang around them. I love to talk to them. I love to be around them. I got some beautiful people around me. What your people look like? Change the tone about them and watch them change. What about the giving Deion did out his own pocket? Yeah, I spoke about that user. I'm sorry, called him Usher. I spoke about that user, and I spoke about how when he gave, he got it back many times over, and we can see that. So I say he is a walking billboard for universal laws because he walks these laws. These laws up here, universal laws, he walks these. And we can see that. We can see how when he's speaking, and he's just being from biblical, but these universal laws are all throughout the Bible. And so the more we get back to these universal laws, we're going to see our whole community is going to change. Everybody around you is going to change. 6FT asked, did he sell out? Okay, now, if it was just the money, that would be a sellout. Why? Why do I say that? And let's pay attention to what I'm saying. He comes in and he sells this idea that, hey, I'm going to take the HBCUs to this next level. We're going to level the playing fields, and we're going to have all the people that we want to get in here because, I'm going to do what I need to do to make that happen, and was doing it. And then somebody else comes in and offers him something else. Now, he has made a contract, whether you want to recognize it or not. When you make this verbal contract, the people, look, he offered, I'm going to make the HBCUs great again. And we accept it. Now, when he walks out on it and then doesn't address us, well, and it's not us, because I wasn't having any bad words. I felt terrible. I did. I felt really bad about that community. And so what I'm saying is you've got to understand that they could see it as that way. But then not knowing what's going on in the background, and there were some things I'm sure were going on in the background, because where there's smoke, there's fire. Oh, some people say they didn't do what he said, and it's all lies. Okay, but where there's smoke, there's fire. That's another law. I know that. So it might not have been all one way, but where there is smoke, there is fire. All right. Thank you, Sunset Beach, for sharing. Let's see. I was never feeling bad, Rick James. All right, Rick James, you want to come on? I got a few minutes. I got 1 or 2 minutes. Karma, the city of Jackson is important. Karma for the city of Jackson is important. Karma is important, and karma is a universal principle. All right, let me put my universal laws back up here. Karma is a universal principle, and it is where when you put out an energy, it must come back. So if you're putting out a lot of negative energy towards someone, understand you got to get that back. And that's all karma is a universal principle. And so, yeah, anytime we're putting out energies, we want to be careful that they are positive always. Amen, sister. Our tongue is strong. We can manifest things. That's right. Fun for fans. Say that real fast 3 times. Fun for fans. We manifest with our mouth. Bayless says, is that why they making the purge law? Because we not supposed to be in handcuffs before we see a judge. I need to look that up. The purge law, I'll check that out. He didn't make them great again. They wasn't being talked about until he got there. That's right, Ace Bayless. I'm going to be honest with you, because I was never a college fan nor an HBCU fan. All right, I'm just being honest with you. And it was the only reason why I was watching is because of Deion Sanders and the energy that he brought to that whole game. So yeah, I agree. They were mismanaging funds away from his sports program. Okay. I'm just, that is one of the accusations. Is that why they're making the purge? I had to look up that purge law. Because we're not supposed to be in handcuffs before we see a judge. Yeah, it's illegal. So we go into that in the university about how when you're under trust and they come at you, they're kidnapping. They're basically kidnapping you. All right. And if you know how to stand and who you are as a living being, then you could take it to them. And we show you how to take it to them. Ace Bayless says he did his job. Yes, he did more than his job. He not only did his job with Jackson State, he motivated the whole melanated community. He did. He left more behind than what any coach would be expected to do. He did more than his job. So I agree with you. Johnny Mack followed the host. Okay, this is what I want to talk about, love. What you want to talk about, Ace? I'm going to get out of here. The law that they are violating. Oh, okay, yeah. We talk about that in the university. We show you how to deal with these people when they're coming at you and how to make sure. Crush, leave us a message so we can do a consultation for you, okay? Leave your number and your name in the inbox, and we're going to do a free consultation with you, okay? So you can be free. Anybody else before I get up out of here? I want y'all to know, listen, those of y'all, most people have calmed down by now. But I want y'all to know that, when people are coming with this kind of anger, there would be no anger if there was not a contract or a feeling of abandonment. If there was no love, there would be no anger. It's a thin line between love and hate. All right. So have some compassion for the people who hurting. Don't be sticking around and letting them, say all these negative things. Not on either side. Not about JSU or about the other team. Nobody needs to be saying any kind of negative energy, because again, that's energy that comes back. All right. Notice how Deion hasn't put out. He could put out a whole bunch of negative stuff. He could, but he hasn't done that. He hasn't talked about, come to find out, there's been more break-ins than what has been reported. And that's got to be frustrating. You got to feel violated when people are doing those kind of things. So this is why I say another thing. He's a walking billboard. When Coach Robinson came at him, was saying those things about him, about how he's not swag or what have you, he could have gone in. He didn't say not one negative thing. Everything he said was positive. And so this is why, even when people are coming at you with negative energy, you want to make sure your vibratory frequency is so high that they don't bring you down to a negative level. Because even when they're spewing hate or whatever the negative words is, that's energy that's got to go back on them. Don't you take on that energy. Let them have it. Y'all can have it. I'm going to be over here on this high cloud. And so that's why I'm so really happy when I see him doing his interviews. He's laughing, he's joking, he's enjoying his newfound resources, his newfound wealth. And I'm really happy for him. All right. We're going to get out of here. I need the same thing. So everybody who wants to be a part of the university, I want you all to send a message, an inbox, so we can get you into the university, get you on these laws. If y'all don't have this, check out the profile link, and you can pull this down. You can pull the hierarchy of law down. Those are very important. in this game. All right, I love y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Dee Marie, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Y'all work on these laws. Work on them. Work on them. This is where your wealth is, right here, knowing these laws. Sunset Beach, get Crush Gaming, because Crush Gaming is not able to message us. Anybody else, if you can't message us, let us know. Sunset Beach, hit them up so we can get them into the seminar starting in January. I love y'all. I'm out. Diva, peace. Bye-bye. Yes, yes, yes. Q&A. Yeah.